sounds way better over here. It always does.
That's pretty heavy.
That's not bad. That is fucking Doom from Baltimore, man.
And these guys a new release today?
Yep. Released on Bandcamp.
Black Lung. Okay.
Yeah. A trio out of Baltimore. Been around since 2014. Relatively young band, but man.
God, it would have been more ironic if they were from fucking West Virginia with a name like Black Lung, huh?
Right.
A little early for that?
Maybe, I don't know, yeah. We've all seen The Deer Hunter. We know what that life's all about.
Black Lung,
man.
All right. God damn, all right.
Well,
Add something new to my list of shit to get myself informed on.
Well, the blue truck is gone.
Oh. Finally blown up.
I don't know. No, it wasn't by my hand like I had hoped.
Oh, I was hoping it was like a Johnny Knoxville shit.
Like I'd gone out there and fucking decimated it.
Yeah.
No.
Down, 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 down.
Pee on it. Poop on it. No, it's the last fucking vehicular reminder of Pops is now off the premises. All the rigs are gone. I mean, shit. Really, all that's out there now is a shop.
And your grandmother.
Yes. Yes. But, yeah, really odd to, like, that it's gone. Had that fucking vehicle since, like, 99.
Yeah.
And primarily it was grandma's. And then when she got that fucking nice-ass F-150 she's driving now, that became the rig work vehicle. So basically it became Pops, but I was in it just as much as he was because we were traveling hither and yon to do shit.
Right.
And then when he got sick, it became mine. So that thing was getting constant use, and it still only had like 160 thou on it for being 20 years old.
No, you'd said though it was.
Oh yeah, but it has a lot of character. A lot of character.
On the precipice of shit dying on it.
But yeah, so really, if it can be taken and spruced up and a couple more extra years of use, fuck it, man.
It went to like a family member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, to the Ford F-150, long may she reign, and I'm over it.
God, that was an F-150. I forgot about that. That phase where the F-150 became the tiny little fucking Ford Ranger
right
style truck.
Yeah, like the equivalent of the Chevy S10.
Yeah, dude. And then because now if you look at an F-150, they're not big, but they're not that tiny.
No, you can get them big.
Yeah,
like the extended cabs and like shit like that. Because that blue one I had was a 3-door.
Yeah,
surprisingly enough, that I didn't realize until like 4 years ago.
I think it was barely bigger than a Datsun though.
Right. It's yeah. Well, fuck it. I mean, I have a far more gnarlier Chariot anyway.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And in the words of Captain Jack, it's just a boat.
Just a boat.
Yeah.
And I actually had a phone call with the dealership yesterday. They'd called wanting to know if I was wanting to trade my shit in.
Oh, really? Do
they get you on a list? They're like, oh, hey, yeah, they're throwing like an extra grand, and like, no, I still owe way too much money. I don't want to get in debt up to my eyeballs. I'm going to be an old man. I want to pay some shit off,
I want something to be mine.
I want to be able to go throwing dollar bills at hookers and fucking,
And be able to sleep the sleep of the just later.
And not sit back going, I could have bought some Cheerios with that.
Damn, yeah, they had a brand new fucking Wrangler in the showroom when I was getting my Jeep.
Yeah.
God damn, they're nice, dude.
Yeah, they're over 50 grand.
They are they're ridiculous. They are. I never thought a Jeep Wrangler would become a luxury vehicle.
Well, that's what they always do. They fuck everything up. They fuck it all up. Because, look, pickups are cool because they're utilitarian. You can haul shit around, everything else, until some asshole went, yeah, but I kind of want to own a Cadillac, but yet have the ability to haul boards when I have to or whatever. So now fucking every pickup's like over fucking 50, 60 grand. It costs the price of a house in New Mexico. Yeah.
Funny thing now, like little 4-door sedans are relatively affordable.
You can go and get a brand new Mustang for like $28 right now.
That ain't bad.
Right now. And if I didn't have asshole neighbors that'd like to tear up my driveway, I'd go buy one right now.
Yeah, well, shit, you probably still have the Charger.
I would have.
Yeah. You had to get...
That Charger I was buying something to buy something I wanted. But
oh, okay.
I mean, it was a matter... I didn't have bad credit. I had no credit. I made the mistake of going through life and paying off shit, Immediately, without ever, creating a line of credit for myself. So.
Right.
So I hit my 40s and I went, what do you mean I don't have any credit?
The fuck does that even mean? I bought shit all my life.
Yeah. I've been a consumer from day one.
Oh, Oh man.
But yeah, so they called me and they said, yeah, well, there's an extra $1,000 coming from like Jeep, if you're, I was like, They said, hey, so how's Brandon liking his Jeep? I said,
I was fucking mentioned.
I said, let me tell you, motherfucker. No, I
was gonna say.
I didn't tell him that. But
let me forward your call.
I said, yeah, he had a little hiccup there. I said, but so do I every once in a while. I said, it's just Jeep. I said, I love Jeep, but they are a piece of shit when it comes to the electrical side.
Right.
It's my favorite brand, but the electrical side's kind of fucking dubious.
Oh yeah, man. Fucking, if I have my brights on and I roll a window down, my lights will dim a little bit.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've learned that it's just part of the character of the vehicle.
It is. Mechanically, they're fucking sound.
Yeah.
Electrically,
yeah. I'm waiting for the day those goddamn windows don't work. But shit, I'm used to having vehicles where the windows don't work.
Well, I had that last Saturday. I went to town. I was driving along. It's kind of a warm day. Tried to roll the window down. No, not in the front. Back rolled down, not the front. I'm like, it's just a Jeep. It's a Jeep being a fucking Jeep. We'll see. I get to the feed store, bought some goddamn dog food, got out, windows worked fine.
God, man, that's weird.
It's cheap.
That was a weird thing about the pickup. Now you remind me. Windows never worked, and then suddenly when the family member came to pick it up, he tinkered around with something for 5 minutes. Goddamn driver's side window worked.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So that gave me a little bit of hope that maybe he can fix the antifreeze leak and put 4 new tires on it and find out why a whole bunch of exhaust is coming out of the bottom of it like it's a goddamn hovercraft now.
Oh, well.
It's got a lot of character.
A little extra flotation going on.
I guess so, yeah, if you go fucking in the sea.
I shouldn't be this petty, but the dickweed that sends us a fucking message every week at quarter after.
The Great Interrupter.
Every time. Just sent one. But I have my volume off. So
ooh. Oh, man, I'm going to have to go turn that down in post. Motherfucker. Why? Again?
Always. With the exception of the week after I called him out.
Does he get a hold of you after 6 o'clock on any other day?
No.
Just
Only
Friday.
Only Friday.
What a cut.
Yeah.
What a cut.
And I don't mean that. I don't mean cunt in a good way.
Yeah, not a cuntsman of the country.
Kunstman seems like it's like a vocational word. Almost.
Yeah, you're like the Jamie Lannister of the area.
What is that guy? Is he a blacksmith? Oh no. He's a kunstman.
Yeah, the finest cut of kunstman. And welcome, friends.
It is the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast where we get together on a weekly basis talking shit and
talking shit about fucking stuff.
Sometimes about mead, sometimes about metal, sometimes about MMA, sometimes all three things, sometimes none of the three.
Yeah, we've had a few where I think we just went for 45 minutes. Bye, guys.
Just a riff.
Have a great week. I believe they call that a filler episode.
Maybe. Well, no, but I mean, they're always important, though. It's usually because we have...
Oh, no, we wouldn't do this if what we didn't have to say was important.
We have far more important shit to do. You know, and if it turns out our 3 topics the show's named after don't even come up in conversations because it's a big day.
It's true. Church. Preach it, Brother Beavis.
We'll get into the week stuff. We actually have a Mead update, and a crazy one at that. And the fact that...
an odd tale.
I've got... Well, we have fucking 3 fermenters going right now. Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. I have...
By the way, our beer drinking this evening is brought to you by the Roosevelt Brewery and Public House. Drink a little bit of their stout, which has got a lot of hops to it, but it's all right.
I love that.
The Mead update. We have one. It's the White Shadow Ranch batch. I have to order bottles this coming week because we
top her up.
We have to. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me a little something. Thanks, sir.
Chicken Galway.
So we've got one batch that we'll have to be bottling probably next weekend.
Right.
I think that's
White Shadow Ranch.
Yeah. So that means we kind of have a real busy week ahead. We've got to get the label shit done. We've got to get bottles in. I've got to order the shrinks for it. I got to double check our cork count. We've got to make sure we got a lot of shit together.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of things brewing right now, so we got to make sure we got everything to cover it.
Well, and that's the other thing. For you assholes to say, so what else are you doing? Well, here you go. This is all just for you. Premier Cuvée, the yeast we utilize for Troublemaker, we have that for the first time ever into a vanilla batch. Now, what will that batch be? I don't know.
It will be the mead equivalent of a port wine, I think.
Yeah. the debate was whether we make that one something flavored, like the Holly King or whatever. Yeah. Might be the way to go, because that yeast is great for running your ABV, your alcohol by volume, way up. It's not really pleasant on its own.
Well,
which is why we usually use in the Troublemaker the spiced mead batch.
I mean, if we had honeyback shit, and add a little more sugar on the end, it'd probably be fine. But that's never been our style.
I mean, we could do that. I mean, there's really nothing against it, but
I know. But I feel like then we're creating that shit that we talk shit about on the reg.
Yeah, potential.
I mean, have you ever had a mass-produced mead that you actually thought was aces across the board?
No, sir.
The closest I got was at Grimfrost, and that mulberry shit was still pretty It was fruity, but it was sweet.
I've had some pretty good mead from Redstone. Now, they do tend to overdo it with a few of their things, but some of their lighter batches that they've got, a Redstone Meadery in Boulder, really good. Fucking really good. They've also got nectars, which are about half the content and also carbonated.
Is that what we had in your...
Yeah, that was a nectar.
That we didn't finish?
Yeah. It was okay. It
was fine.
Again, it's one of those that had a medicinal kind of a fucking hit to it. I didn't care for it.
Right. I thought we did better on a medicinal taste for Scarborough Fair after that last bottle we tasted.
Yeah.
But regardless, I don't know, man. Here's what we need to do.
Well, we might need to tag that one for being the Holly King. I really do. A high alcohol count straight mead with that yeast is not going to be good. I
think if we were using maybe a more potent honey, it might be okay. Like a darker honey.
Yeah.
Remember we were wanting to do that batch with the that black honey, the buckwheat honey. Yeah,
right.
It work great for something like that, but I do agree for this current honey we're using, it'd probably be best to keep the boozier one with the juniper berries and the mint.
There's nowhere for some of the off flavors to hide.
Right. Yeah,
and you're going to get punched in the mouth with the Premier Cuvée. So,
and wouldn't you rather get punched in the mouth during the holidays?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Like all of America, right?
That's what I want.
So we have that one underway, and that one's a full batch. That's a full 5-gallon run, and we also have another parallel run going with the Lalvin D47,
which is our base.
Yeah, it makes a good mead. It makes a good mead.
Consistently good. It's reasonably good. You always get consistent results.
12 to 14% on the ABV, and it doesn't get in the way of flavor.
Yeah,
I think that's the that's the right way to go for a batch one, which is our vanilla batch. So there's a fucking mead update.
That is a legit mead update.
We have 12.5 gallons underway in fermenters right now.
Suck it, bitches.
That's it. For all you saying we're lazy cunts, well, you're kind of right, but we have.
But we have been doing shit.
We have shit underway.
And that yeast initially didn't kick off, but I think, like you were saying, it was probably because that was a little chilly when we pitched it.
Yeah. When you don't have the luxury of summertime to be the base for giving your honey a little bit of heat, to start the batch, and things are flat cold, and especially the viscous nature of honey anyway.
Right.
Man, if it's cold, it's going to take a while for that. It's been a long time since we actually started a batch in the winter.
And we had pasteurized and kind of just let everything settle. And I bet when we just let everything settle for a day, it got to room temperature, which on the ground is probably about 50 degrees when it was really cold.
It took about 2.5 days before I started seeing
We were about to buy new yeast because we thought that had perished.
Yeah.
Because we'd had it a while.
Yeah, we've had this yeast for about 1.5 years, but generally yeast, man. I mean, that's the reason I raised an eyebrow. I thought, God damn, as long as you keep it under 40 degrees, yeast is not going to degrade. Bread yeast will, because it's a whole different fucking yeast. But as far as like the yeast that you utilize for making liquor, as we do, man, it should take a lot longer than that to degrade. So I was kind of raising an eyebrow about that, but. By God, by Monday, that shit
when everything started kind of warming up. Yeah.
No, Monday was a cold bitch. But,
right, yeah. Shit, I slept all day.
Yeah, but we'd pitched the yeast, Friday?
Saturday.
Friday or Saturday, yeah.
We had pasteurized and mixed Friday, and then pitched yeast Saturday.
Yeah. So it was actually Tuesday then when I started getting some airlock action. I thought,
nice. Still going strong now as well.
Yeah. So those will be good batches as well, and just hope and aim for the best. So
nothing smells like farts yet.
Yeah, well, outside of the early fermentation, Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
The one that we're probably going to utilize for a Holly King batch with the Premier Cuvée fucking yeast. It always smells like farts, by the way.
yeah, it does
When it's coming through the airlock. Yeah.
When we had the first Troublemaker in the secondary in that plastic carboy,
Right.
that's when it smelled like a goddamn fart farm.
Right.
There were some other I mean, like, of course, when we pitched the yeast when it was super fucking hot, had a lot to do with that.
Sure.
But also that just really made the nature of the Grand Cuvée come out.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what it smells like when we're eating dinner, motherfuckers.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're not nice, we'll make your mead smell like it too.
Yeah, that was kind of a rough go. I mean, I literally thought we were going to have to do like a distilled liqueur of fucking mead, really.
I thought we were going to have some we could clean our fucking silverware with.
Yeah, or
like
that.
some metal polisher.
But as it turns out, a lot of those off elements that originate within the mead when you pitch it when it's too hot or whatever the case might be, it creates a lot of weird little things that shouldn't be there. And about 3 different elements, and they've all got different names and they do different things, but the fact of the matter is they all put off a sulfurous kind of a scent to the nose. But those are elements that actually you can drag out of your mead, because what you do is you end up kind of getting negative ion associated like hooves and things of that nature, like your gelatin that we would add.
Your hoof.
And what it'll do, it'll grab a hold of a lot of that because it's negative ions, so it'll grab the positive ion charge, which are basically what you have after a hot yeast pitch.
Right.
And it'll drag all that shit to the bottom. So as long as you don't get into the lees, then you're in good shape. And that's why that first batch of Troublemaker turned out fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah. Goddamn. If only we could match that folly, but we never could. You can't recreate that bottle.
Nor do you want to.
I don't think so. That's just a
risk is too high.
Bottle that you had to be here to have.
Yeah.
I wonder if Don has one.
I'm positive he does.
I might go to his little fuck den just to drink it.
Is that what his house is called now?
Yeah. That's what I always think it is. I mean, shit,
almighty.
every time, like, it's like, hey, we got a hot tub and a bunch of beer. It's a fuck den.
Sometimes I send him a link to the podcast. Sometimes I don't. He's getting a link this week.
By the way, I mean that is one of the highest compliments I could ever give a man.
Fuck. All right. Here we go into first full week of March. How was your week?
This is not. I don't know, man. I think I'm good. It's shit week. But I don't like having to train new people at the hotel.
How to, like, not piss themselves?
Well,
you mean train them on job?
Yeah, like how to do their job, which my job hires a certain kind of person.
Okay. You mean like by demographic breakdown?
Well, they all have the same thing in common. The last 4 hires. None of them have a vehicle.
Oh, they're going to say penis.
No, I'm the only one with a penis.
Oh, okay. Well, you got that going for you.
Yeah, which is nice. But like the hiring choices, I feel like have been fair at best as of late, and they're on the decline still. This hotel, I mean, I'll go with it down to the grave. You know, I got a vehicle to pay for. But things are certainly in the winds, and I don't know if it's entirely positive or entirely negative.
Yeah.
But
well,
I apparently I can't train a girl. Like, imagine being a 22-year-old girl with no ride. You're dropped off at this hotel at 10:55.
These people have to get a ride to work.
Yeah, ride there and ride back because they don't have vehicles
What
or
the
bikes or something or
the
responsibilities.
Shouldn't that be a red flag? I don't hire people, but shouldn't
I figure that should be a prerequisite for a job.
Fucking red flag that, like, oh, by the way, cool, this person's going to come work for us. Oh, by the way, they can't get themselves to and from work.
Yeah.
Which means that if it comes down to it, I guarantee they will find a ride home from work.
Find a ride there might take a little bit longer. And that's always been the case.
As has been the case.
It's always been the case.
You've utilized that as a jumping off point of rage on this show numerous times.
Yeah. To the point where, like, now I just can't do it because why fucking bother? So But like every time I train, these girls always look at me like I'm some kind of fucking rapist.
Only because you have a humongously long red beard and a little on the larger side through the shoulders, and you work nights.
Should it be that shocking, though, that there is a man in a blue suit that looks exactly the same right next to me?
Is that what you're working on? Is the
Apparently, because everyone says that. I mean, fuck. I've heard it thousands of times.
Wow.
Thousands of times.
All right.
I hear it at least twice a day. At least twice a day.
You ought to start telling them, like, as soon as they get hired, it's like, by the way, I'm corporate, as you can see.
Yeah, don't tell nobody, but I'm watching all of you. There are cameras in the bathroom just to make sure you aren't just lollygagging in there when you're pooping. And welcome to the team.
So you're like basically like Tormund off of Game of Thrones. That's because that guy, the red-headed barbarian fellow on Game of Thrones, actually turns out to be the pitch man for your
which is
industry.
great. I mean, it works out for me because I might be one of the few guys that works at a hotel and has a huge-ass beard.
Yeah.
But no, and there's never been a complaint about it. Like, oh, this trash. And I fucking keep my beard looking good. I put oils in there. I got my sandalwood rocking, man, a shampoo for it. I tend to this more than I tend to my goddamn dome.
Right.
So it makes it look good, and everyone always comments, you look just like that guy on the fucking
there you go.
poster. So I was like, great.
You got to keep the facial hair good. I learned from the 1980s that you got to keep the chest hair looking good with a gold chain.
Chest pubes of your ball fro.
Yeah. Keep that gold chain right there, though.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, work can sometimes be pretty cool, but more times than not, it sucks. It like really, it's no fun for me unless there's something really gnarly that happens. There's no fun in me talking about it because now it's just like a doldrum of my day.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
I hate it because I know there are folks, Daryl, that like to hear about the strange antics of the hotel. It's just I don't have a whole lot of fun talking about bitching about the same thing over and over again, you know?
Right. No, I hear you.
So if I think my life after jobs is becoming far more interesting, if you ask me.
I've found out that I'm probably fucked when it comes to trying to find a real job. Like one of these days when I grow up and get a real job, like my mother used to say.
One day.
What are you going to do when it comes time you got to find a real job?
Can't be a pro wrestler?
It's like I don't know. Maybe I'll be an actor or something. I don't know.
I always wanted to be a pro wrestler.
Yeah, I'm not built for that.
Yeah, well, we're way too old.
Way too old as well. Yeah, I'm not that much on using a lot of PEDs and shit. So
just try MMA, man. Go the Hendo route. Get it done in 3 years. By the time you're 50, you have a belt.
I thought you were going to say go the MMA route, get into Ryzen, dump steroids and fucking human growth
fuck
hormone.
Yeah, man, and fight Gabby Garcia and bulldog choke her out.
Yeah. But no. I'm just stuck kind of in the same occupation. But the thing is, so now I'm having to look at. I don't want to get into what I do, but I have to look at grids all day.
That'd be burned in your fucking eyes.
It does, and it fucking drives me wacky.
I'll bet. I can appreciate that.
And I'm going through looking at grid after grid after grid after grid and making sure that there are not anomalies. In other words, things that appear twice in the same time, same day, same hour, or a different day, different hour, same hour. Just to straighten things out. And it's fucking bothers me. But I'll say this. I found out today that actually that is way preferable than to not have anything to do.
True.
I overworked yesterday, and therefore I had nothing to do today. Spending about 3 hours around the workplace twiddling thumbs is a fucking horrible torture.
It is. Even in the hospitality bed, but at least I can fucking watch some YouTube or jam some metal, you know?
Well, I mean, I guess I could maybe do that. I mean, but the act of sitting, I can't do that. I can't. Right.
Well, fuck, man, out here at the Mead Hall, how much do we really sit? We stand more than we sit.
We sit more on a weekly basis on Friday evening with you fools.
That's true. Than
doing this
than we do in our own personal time, getting drunk and burning the earth.
Any other time.
It's just a thing for me. You know, I don't know why. And I know it really pisses a lot of people off here sometimes when they're sitting down.
Sit down?
Why can't you just sit down? Come sit down. It's like, I don't do that when I'm partying, okay?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not a lazy partier.
We had a lady over here. It's like, oh, Mr. Kevin, why don't you come sit down? Because I'm standing.
Because I'm fucking trying to rock.
I was born to rock, and frankly, sitting down ain't the way to do it.
Yeah. I did it all the time when I was hanging out in the shop. Never sat down. I don't do it.
Well, that was a rough deal in the shop, though, because it's got a fucking concrete floor.
Yeah. Well, you have to earn your stripes. Ugh. I was doing that for fucking 4 years before I started coming out here. I was like, oh, this is way nicer. They got heat. I don't have to fucking light a scary diesel heater. It's awesome.
I kind of learned. I was like, went out there to celebrate your birthday with you one year. And
2011 New Year's Eve, I think. 2010 or 2011.
No, it was later than that because I was already dating that crazy chick.
2012 then.
Probably 2012.
Because the Moonsorrow album came out 2013.
No, that came out 2012, so it's probably 2013. Yeah, probably 2013. But get out there, and it was a frozen goddamn night, and you got a weird kerosene thing blasting away and stuff like that. But
sounds like a fucking diesel engine, and all it is a pool of diesel fuel and like some fucking vents on the top to make sure it doesn't just explode out.
Right.
You know?
And I was like, all right, well, if I start feeling lightheaded, I'm gonna crawl for the exit, and that's kind of what I had in mind. I'm like, all right. Because we may be just like ingesting something, and it'll just knock me out. And I'd
always thought about that. That's why I always left the door cracked open.
Yeah.
But that place is not what you call airtight either.
No. But that was a night where it was probably 15 degrees outside on your birthday night, or a night prior to, so I'm out there drinking fucking Hogarten with you.
Yeah, we're drinking that fucking, what was that winter wheat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, man, and sound system sucked, and the fucking heat tried. I was like, this is horrible.
You'd only appreciate it when you're right next to it, but to get next to it is to risk your life.
I was like, I've got to get Brandon out the house. That's all there is to it, because this is fucking not going to work over there.
Well, I wasn't joking when I told you I was a fucking hermit.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
And in a way, I kind of am. I just transit from one hobbit hole to the next.
Which is fine.
Well, shit.
Yeah, no, we listen to what? God, what was that one band out of like Jerusalem? Something like a Sacred Land or whatever it is.
Oh, Sacred Reich? No.
I don't know. But we listened to a variety of shit that night. But
yeah, because you came out when I was like, fucking, that's when I just go out and listen to weird fucking foreign shit.
And I was bringing my own weird shit, you know? So,
yeah, because I had my lappy out there, right?
It was a weird night.
Damn.
It was a weird night.
Don't know how we got over that. But that's far more cheery than explaining how shitty our weeks were.
Let's move on to the metal side of things. Here's the thing. Man, we love all things Alice in Chains. And you're the one that kind of... I heard rumblings about this because Sean Kinney had said a long time ago, the drummer for Alice in Chains, that they were going to do a video one day, that they were going to do a video for every song on an album. It was like, well, bullshit, because I know Jerry Cantrell is not a fan of video.
Yeah. I mean, he pulls them off, and they really paint a great picture for you.
Yeah.
That Voices video is great.
Sure.
Because it's a beautiful tribute to the grunge's fallen.
But I thought, all right, fine. You're going to do one for every track on an album. Apparently they're going to.
Yeah. And while they did it, they were like, you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and film a fucking 90-minute gnarly sci-fi movie called Black Antenna? Holy shit. I don't know if... because... Alice in Chains, their image of their music and their overall thought process is completely off the charts. If you have seen the first video, which each video is going to be in, first one's the one you know. Episode 2 is going to be Rain or Fog, and they're as long as the music video as the song, but it's all bits from this movie Black Antenna that they did. Apparently they got a Alice in Chains super fan to direct it. But after watching the first episode last night, Kevin and I have come to the conclusion that we're probably about to see some ridiculously gnarly things that might change us a la like episode 1 of Black Mirror.
You think? Because, I mean...
Yeah, this is going to be weird.
Well, what's weird about this is because I wanted to go back after we watched the first one last night, the first installment off of this, and apparently it's going to go by track listing, right?
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be a weekly thing. Apparently it's a bi-daily thing. It's like every 12 hours. By the time we're done here, fucking Red Giant might be out.
Fuck off. I need to watch it. Well... Yeah. My problem is because I dig the album so much, I almost ignore what I'm seeing.
Right. Yeah, like we almost get back to talking and stuff. It's like, oh, wait, there's some seriously gnarly shit going on.
Yeah.
Like that part, just a small recap from what I can remember of the one you know. It seems like these might be weird fucking kind of life vampires. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that have an odd, like something with the radio, black antenna, the whole thing.
I guess.
And the girl pisses and fucking crickets come out. I think they're crickets. She picks them up and puts them in a bag. That's one there. It kind of threw me.
Yeah, man. I mean, and do we know, is this like scheduled for like a theatrical release?
I don't know if it's going to be theatrical, like a Netflix thing.
Because we're living in a weird age.
We're basically
apparently Steven Spielberg is the old man yelling at kids to get off his lawn right now.
Yeah,
but
no shit. Well, I mean, we're going to be getting basically a 53-minute trailer with music for this movie, and then the movie's going to come out.
And the movie will be like, what, twice as long? So.
Well, they're saying 90 minutes. I'm going to say probably between 85 and 93. Because there's no movie that's exactly 90 minutes long.
Short flick. They're kind of, aren't they aiming for like an hour 40 now? It's the
in
industry
Hollywood,
standard?
yeah. But this is not a Hollywood thing. This seems very small, very in-house, you know?
Well, and you know that Alice in Chains has got to have a shitload of impact, or have had.
I wouldn't be surprised to see W. Earl Brown in this shit.
Yeah, because he and Jerry are fucking tight.
And he'd probably do it just to fucking be a pal.
Yeah, because apparently that dad band thing is going to turn into
I hope so, man. That is so
the rumor is that's going to turn into a regular kind of a YouTube series.
I hope so, because that's so good.
If you want me to subscribe to YouTube Red, all you got to do is give me W. Earl Brown and fuck Jerry Cantrell and shit on a normal basis, and I'll be there.
Fucking Dan Doherty and the Guitar Sage himself in the same show.
Wait.
They're both fucking hilarious. God, Jerry Cantrell is so funny, and he's not trying to be funny. That's the thing. He's not trying to be a character. It's just Jerry being Jerry.
Yeah.
You just have to be a bass player that knows that you don't get to fuck a bitch in the ass by listening to Rush.
Well, yeah. Point well taken. Maybe I got to go back and watch that now. But that is the ridiculous thing. Is the fucking the greatest guitar player, in my opinion, in our current generation right now is the bass player in that show.
Right. So and then fucking W. Earl Brown's character is one that brings the GNR to the party.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone's like, "Why the fuck did you buy that?" He's like, "I had to dip into the vacation fund." Because as we know, GNRs are only about $200 or $300.
Yeah,
well, certain ones are.
Get online. Yeah, get online and check it out. Dad Band. If you haven't yet, man, you owe it to yourself. Check that shit out on YouTube because it's hilarious and it's only like 8 minutes long, something like that. And other than that, black antenna stuff. That's going to be pretty much now. As a matter of fact, I like the way that YouTube is doing it. Their algorithms are different. If you type in Alice in Chains, that's like one of the first things that pops up.
Right, like the thing most new and relevant to that. Unless you specify a little more after Alice in Chains.
Yeah, if you want to check out Wood or whatever, then you're going to have to type that in as well. But
I'm going to run down. There's a couple news bits here that I think are of note. Remember last week when we were talking about Doyle from the Misfits bitching about having to do $50 meet and greets because people are stealing his shit?
Right.
Well, Woody Weatherman from Corrosion Conformity thinks Doyle, quote, maybe he should figure out something else to do if he hates meet and greets. It's great to hear a proper musician come in and fucking put this guy in his place. Ooh, Doyle from the Misfits. Ooh.
That's the only thing that pissed me off when Gene Simmons did that nonsense, that fucking vault nonsense, from Kiss, because you want to call him out because the fact is that Kiss has got fucking millions and millions and millions of fans, not hardcore fans, but they've got millions and millions of fans. And if you ever call them out on anything, then both he and his lover, Paul Stanley, end up going after you hard. So you don't want to fucking...
We'll come at you like a kamikaze fucking pilot, man.
Like a fucking chihuahua on fucking speed. But yeah, so on shit like this, I always appreciate, though, when other artists go, really? You don't want to spend a lot of time with your fans? Cool, man.
All right, cool. Go be a dick. He's like, I just want to go back and be with my girlfriend, who is the front woman for Arch Enemy.
Yeah,
the new one. Which, I mean, she's fucking
That's a revolving door of ladies, though, huh?
Well, I'm sure she's getting a little something on the back end, like she is.
Revolving door of other things.
Did you ever see School of Rock with Jack Black?
Yeah, man.
Do you remember the lead guitar player kid?
Motherfucker, yes.
Oh my God,
in trouble.
In some big shit, which is hilarious, and it's music related and drug related. Apparently, he's been 4 felony charges for stealing 3 guitars and an amp. One of them was a goddamn Gibson Gold Top.
You remember in baseball news like fucking 8 years ago or something like that. They had a guy on the Yankees that actually stole a lot of goddamn. He was a player, stole a lot of gloves and balls and shit like that. out of the clubhouse. Yeah, he was a professional baseball player, and was like stealing shit and selling it out on the free market. You know?
Oh God!
It reminds me of that, I guess, and the fact that you shouldn't be ripping fucking people off if you're an honorable dude. And apparently, this guy clearly not an honorable dude.
I'm going to rapid fire the rest of this shit off to you. Dave Mustaine recalls almost hiring Dimebag and Vinny for Megadeth back in '88.
Yeah, I recall almost a house falling on me when the world was black and white and then went Technicolor, and I was able to get out of the way. I
recall a certain blonde-headed, balding wrestler trying out for the bass player part for Metallica back in '82 as well. I don't know, man. If that's true, that would have been cool, but it never happened. Maybe they'd still be. I don't fucking care. It's like cool, fine, whatever.
It's a Dave Mustaine method to stroke Dave Mustaine's fucking ego. He strokes his own ego more than anybody else does, because if he stops getting attention, he immediately has to whip some fucking crazy stuff out that oddly usually doesn't involve anybody still living that could refute his shit.
That's fact.
I don't hate him, but god damn it, he makes it hard to like, right?
Yeah. Hollywood Vampires, that band that has Johnny Depp in it with Alice Cooper and Joe Perry, got some tour dates coming. They happen to be playing Isleta Casino.
Oh my god! Well, you know they're a hot act then.
Yeah, that's
Start
right.
Playing the casino circuit.
I mean, it's a fucking sideshow act, really.
Well, Johnny Depp's needing some cash, right? Well, that's why he's suing Amber Heard, right?
I don't know what the fuck's going on with Johnny Depp. I don't follow that shit.
That dude started hanging out with Doug Stanhope.
He's not a musician.
I immediately went, well, this guy's fucked. If you start hanging out with that fucking old drinky, woof.
Tool posted an update that it was a picture of them in an empty recording studio.
Yeah.
Are we done with the record? Are we about to hit production?
Yes.
I hope so.
Because God damn it, the dude that's kind of generally their like manager / engineer / the dude that's behind a lot of the scenes of things, and Dana something, I forget his fucking last name.
Dana White?
No, but
fucking goof.
Yeah, I might even be off track there, but I mean, but he's the dude. He's the brains behind the whole fucking thing, really, of trying to keep everybody, a lot of crazy goddamn egos at bay, and he does a good job at it with Tool.
Sounds like a stressful job.
Was seen carrying basically like one of these fucking old-timey spy cases with like a wrist bracelet.
Nice.
Carrying something's like, oh, could that be actually the master copy of fucking Tool's
Very
new record?
nice.
Maybe.
I'd expect nothing less. Woodstock's 50th anniversary has announced some lineup acts.
Yeah. Have you checked much into this?
I've seen, yes, I have. I saw Robert Plant, and I was like, okay, of course. Yeah, why not? Greta Van Fleet, I was like, ooh, well, it makes sense, right?
Greta Van Fleet, quick, hot read for me.
You got to nail them while they're hot, though, man, because that third album's not going to do well.
The second album hadn't been very good either.
That motherfucker won a Grammy. It beat Rainier Fog for some odd reason.
Yeah,
because they're hot.
I'm
Alice in Chains has always been hot, but
I am less and less of a fan of fucking Greta Van Fleet the more time that goes by.
Right. Do you think your opinion would have been different if we saw him in Austin instead of Alice?
In Denver.
In Denver.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I don't know. I would have been emphatically dumb because I wouldn't have fucking saw the Rainier Fog tour, and I would have saw their tour.
It would have impacted your life a little differently, maybe a little less. Who knows?
A lot less.
I think it's really cool that Sturgill's doing it.
Sturgill Simpson there?
Yeah, Sturgill's doing it. I think that's a.
Yeah,
but then you got
if you're trying to replicate a lot of Woodstock shit, they had some folk ass motherfuckers playing that show back in the
right
back in 1969, yeah.
And finally, if you were a betting man, what do you think Kirk Hammett's favorite track, top 2 tracks are from Master of Puppets?
Well, certainly not the title track.
The funny thing is the story opens with, and it's not Master of Puppets.
Yeah. No, because he's weird enough that wouldn't be his fucking...
Well, that's because that's everybody's fucking favorite. So it wouldn't be his. I will... Well, shit. I could give away a huge hint. It's the instrumental on there.
Yeah.
That's the second one, though. That is his second favorite song off of Master Puppets is Orion. His favorite is The Thing That Should Not Be. And that really kind of was like, that's a really good fucking song.
Okay.
But it's odd that he would pick, it's more the moody jam. I mean, they're all pretty moody in their own special way. But this one's a little more like Cure moody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Welcome to where time stands still. No one leaves and no one will. I think it's pretty cool that he didn't pick what everybody else picks. Everybody does pick Orion, though.
Talking about Metallica, they played Lubbock last weekend.
Yeah.
And our friend LJ was there.
Lucky cunt.
Well, lucky or not, I'll say this, because we could have went.
Yeah, well.
We could have went if I would have fucking been willing to write a $400-some-odd check for.
Yeah, because I don't want puss seats for Metallica. Yeah. But really, at United Spirit, you don't get puss seats.
No.
Especially for an In the Round concert.
Yeah.
All seats are pretty good.
But dude ended up sending me, he's like, that they had never performed this one track
Here
live.
Comes Revenge.
Here Comes Revenge. They've never played that live.
Which is what he screamed at the end of the podcast he was on, remember? Because that's what we closed out with.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because he said that was his favorite track, and then you closed out with, he's like, Here Comes Revenge!
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was cool that LJ got to fucking hear his favorite song off of Hardwired.
Yeah.
And with everybody else for the very first time live. Very cool.
And that's cool, because if it's your favorite song, there's nothing more badass than seeing the band you love play that for the first
song
time
you
live
love
ever.
Fuck yeah.
And I don't want to diminish that.
Well, shit.
But I kind of will, because the fact is I'm not a fan of that track. So
it's just because there's so many standout tracks.
That's the problem. It's up against competition off of fucking Hardwired. Yeah. Hardwired might be. No, I've already said it on this show. That's my favorite fucking record of all time.
For people that have gotten into Metallica after, I'd say, the year 2000. That is the album you want to start
I got into Metallica after 1992.
Yeah. Well, you knew of them, but you weren't like fucking into them. You just knew them and you're like, fuck
I
these
owned the
guys.
Black Album just like everybody else did.
Right.
The first album that I actually got into was fucking Hardwired, really. Because Black Album was a little after the fact.
A fucking band that's been around for...
And I think their greatest shit
almost
was
40 years
at the
right.
latest
their last
part of their
album's
career.
been. I can't argue with that, because Hardwired is a great. Spit Out the Bone is one of the greatest metal album closers I've ever heard.
Fuck yes.
And Hardwired is one of the better fucking album openers.
I would say actually by a song by the same name as the same album. You could put that in the running. I mean, we'd have to put together a list if we're wanting to actually like go head to head on some shit, but that's crazy. I would actually put that at number one with at a casual glance.
Right.
Hardwired the song, Hardwired the album, the best.
Damn. I don't know. Master of Puppets does make an argument.
It makes an argument,
but for the fact that an album that came out in '86 versus an album that came out 30 years later.
Yeah.
To like fucking be able to battle like that, for there to be an argument, really that's the thing. For there to be an argument about it says something.
Yeah, well, because usually whatever the song, if it's an album of the same name as a song on the same fucking record, the song usually sucks a little. Usually there's better tracks on it. The exception being Hardwired. The exception also being Power Slave by Iron Maiden.
Right. Yeah. Goddamn.
I don't know. It would require some thought, but I mean it's worthy of thought.
We'll revisit that next week.
Yeah,
because that is rather intriguing. I'll have to give that some thought.
God, I would throw out Perfect Strangers off of Perfect Stranger, fucking Deep Purple.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
84. Right?
Yeah.
That is good. Happy motherfucking birthday to Gary Newman, 61 years old, and Annika van Giersbergen, the gal that sings with Devin Townsend on his former Devin Townsend project. Shit, she is 46, and she looks delicious. I want to go back and list that part because I think I sounded like a raper there.
You might have.
I might have.
Mickey Dolan's birthday today.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, well,
he's the monkey.
Well, him and that Nesbitt guy.
There's still one more.
There is another.
Once one of them dies, you do know that joke is going to make an appearance on this show.
So I want to run down some MMA headlines, some of the way I did the music stuff.
Yes, sir.
Just get some rapid fire thoughts from you, sir. Vitor Belfort says Roy Jones Jr. has agreed to a one championship boxing match.
I think that's a terrible idea. I mean, man.
For who?
For fucking Vitor. Because the guy's not a boxer.
Well, at least they're both in the same age bracket.
They are. You got that shit right. But, man, I will say this. The only thing that boxers have
drawing power.
They do have that. But they also have the ability to know that they're never going to be taken down and fucking getting clubbed to death by somebody's elbows.
Yeah.
If it's all standing and you're doing Queensberry rules and whatever the case might be. I mean, but I like a boxer every day against an MMA fighter that thinks he's a boxer.
Absolutely.
I.e. Conor McGregor and...
God rest his soul. Speaking of Conor McGregor, he's finally completed his community service for the bus attack case.
Okay.
Good man.
Let me bring this up with you. Conor McGregor, Donald Cerrone. That was good. Seemed like it was a done deal. Now it's not a done deal.
Because apparently, from what Rogan said, they wanted to make that shit the co-main, and Conor wants nothing to do with that. I'm sure Cerrone's cool with it because not only is it a co-main, that's a 3-round fight. That motherfucker can prep for a 3-round fight way differently than a 5.
Man, I like Cerrone better in a 5
well,
than
now
McGregor.
that he's back at lightweight, man, I like him in a 3-round fight with the fucking striker that he probably would take to the ground and tap.
I just have a problem with the promotion going, no. Championship strap always takes precedence. I don't think it does. I don't think it needs to be.
I think it's an insult to both men that it was offered as a co-main, though. I really do. I think that fight, that could be a 5-round main event for any pay-per-view.
Well, so Conor takes that, and then suddenly like, oh, well, this motherfucker will take this, in a lesser and lesser and lesser thing.
And the other shitty thing is that ever since Conor's like, yeah, let's fucking get that done, hasn't mentioned it ever since. Even Cerrone's like, fucking sign the contract, pussy. He's finally talking a little shit, so Ariel Helwani's balls are probably fucking getting nice and stiff.
Can we mention that guy might be the worst quote-unquote journalist in fucking MMA, but yet the problem is that...
And his fans are a bunch of cunts.
Oh, God damn it. I would kick any of their asses out in public. But,
right.
but
come find me.
Yeah,
unless Samuel's like a fan. I don't want to fight Samuel.
Bring yourself, son. But I don't know. I have an extreme dislike of Ariel Helwani because he's the most effeminate guy within the most violent fucking masculine sport that exists. I don't get it.
I agree.
I'd rather see a chick running his fucking show than him. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Or at least a chick that knows what the fuck she's talking about. I don't know, Misha Tate. Well, she's busy with one championship now, but
Yoel Romero and Jacare 2 is going to be headlining the Florida card on April 27th. It was supposed to be Paulo Costa, but now it's Jacare, which, by the way, I think is the greatest fighter that has never fought for the belt.
I think that's right, but I also think that when he's on the stage, the precipice of being able to get there, he gets shown.
I agree. Yeah, like the Weidman fight.
Yeah.
He gets that opportunity, and it's just like he's almost a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
I feel like he has the opportunity. If he beats Yoel Romero, I'd say that dude gets a 185 title shot.
I think the Jacare
God damn, it's blowing like a whore out there, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
I heard that in my headset.
Eastern New Mexico.
Welcome.
But I think that Jacare, I think people underestimate his striking skills and they overestimate his ground skills.
Right. I agree.
And I think thereby, if you've got somebody with crazy skills that we see coming in, probably out of this whole fucking the soldier of God, right?
Soldier of God. Can't argue with that.
I think Romero. I think probably finishes him. But here's the biggest problem though. Romero's up against the clock. Yoel Romero's against the clock. This guy's what, 40?
Well, they're both really against
41?
the clock. These are two. This is an old Cuban and an old Brazilian going to go to battle. What Jacare has going for him that Yoel does not is Yoel's going to have to make a weight cut. Jacare doesn't really have to cut a whole lot to make 185. This is not a light heavyweight fight.
Dude, I just don't want to see another case where we see a fighter we kind of like go in and just get humbled immediately by the reigning champ.
Sure. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
In a middleweight, that's Whitaker, but who never fights. But Whitaker, is he an AKA guy? Because
no, he's Australian.
He fights about as often.
Does Australia have an AKA branch?
He throws his title out there about as often as the AKA guys go. And by the way, Josh Licker, you can go fuck yourself. I know you're an AKA guy, but the reality, those guys get in. Those guys get in as champ. They're not going to defend their title
it's
more than once a year, maybe.
And finally, before we talk about tomorrow's card, UFC 235, your thoughts?
John Jones is still the fucking man. And people say, oh, he shouldn't finish him. You go fuck yourself. The man dismantled another fucking human being.
Illegal knee there. Kudos to Anthony Smith for not cause-checking it up and taking the belt from him. He could have taken the belt.
He could have easily
said, our new champ.
That was a DQ. I can't continue. And he's the fucking new belt champ.
I think Jones came out of it looking like he does, like he always does. Anthony Smith might have gotten the best result out of this fight that he could hope for. Looks like a goddamn warrior. And he's a legitimate fighter that's not going to take the goddamn
low road. He earned the respect of the fight community.
That's a huge thing, too.
You know? I mean, there's that. Holy shit. I thought Kamaru Usman was going to fucking dominate a fight.
That's the fight that stuck out to me outside of Johnny Walker injuring himself in his goddamn celebration of the worm. Ooh, weird. Yeah, that Kamaru Usman fight, man.
I always thought if Tyron Woodley met the better Tyron Woodley, he's going to fucking get dominated and he's going to look stupid. And guess what happened?
Yeah,
he got out wrestled. He got out fucking struck. He got out. He got out fought.
I remember while we were watching the fight, we'd had. I mean, it wasn't really what you call an argument, but a disagreement. I said that fucking fourth round is a 10-8. You're like, no, that fucking guy's a champ. They're never going to give a champ a 10-8 round. And in my heart, I was like, God, I hope Usman finishes Woodley because that's not going to look good. I'd rather him tap out than see the cards.
Right.
Fucking 50-44 on two of them, and it was that fourth round.
Two of them had a 10-8 round, yeah. Which I will say, that's awesome because of the fact that now we'll also point out that now Las Vegas is finally in the unified fucking rule.
Sort of.
Kind of. They have a hybrid situation of that. They're okay with the 10-8s and everything else. You can't knee a ground opponent, and that's what it almost cost John Jones his title defense.
Yeah.
And some other bullshit. But the primary is that they are on the unified rules, sort of.
Right. And their instant replay rule is a lot different.
Yeah, because
really.
they can go back and replay and then fight's still on.
But that's really what the instant replay should be. Because no matter what, that fight will still end in no contest if that replay shows, you got gouged in the eye and that's why you got knocked out. It's going to be a no contest.
If you can't continue.
It won't be a lot. Well, I mean, no, if like the fight's over and they go back to the fucking tape in any other place.
Oh, you mean in the current.
And they see that an eye poke led to the loss, then it's a no contest. It doesn't affect either of you. It's like you just came here for nothing.
Right.
I like this where they fucking go back and it's like, oh, okay, well, this was kind of fucked up. We need to go back and start this thing off again. It's a little pro wrestling-ish, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. The only pro wrestling side of things I really hate with the UFC right now is Colby Covington.
Oh, goddamn.
Because he's biting the skis of somebody else, and who the fuck was it that was running around that People's Champ bullshit in the fucking WWE years ago? Yeah.
The Rock.
So this cocksucker's trying to replicate that and everything else. He's trying to be Conor McGregor without the Conor McGregor success.
He's the Republican Conor McGregor.
God. I don't know.
Always wearing MAGA hats, man, because he knows he thinks what he's doing is smart. He's not a Donald Trump guy. You know that.
What he's doing is stupid, and it's
alienating
thinks
he's smart,
people.
But he's just pissing people off. People will buy the pay-per-view that Kamaru Usman fights him at for the belt. I'm going to buy it just to fucking have a front row seat to fucking murder.
Absolutely. Because I see no situation.
Those motherfuckers had altercations already.
I see no scenario where fucking Colby Covington even has a chance of walking out under his own power.
Has he fought since he won that shitty interim belt that was taken away from him?
Nope.
Then he can go fuck himself.
Nope.
I think I was in Wyoming when that shit happened, and that was a while ago.
A year.
We're moving on. Speaking of moving on, we actually have a card tomorrow night fighting out of Wichita, Kansas.
The Wichita card. Yay! Everybody's been looking for. Oh, they're not. They're not really. There are 3 fights I give 2 fucks about.
The main event of the prelims, Anthony Rocco Martin and Sergio Moraes, might be a fucking really good fight at welterweight. Yana Kunitskaya, who fought Cyborg at 145 for her belt, is fighting on the prelim card against Marion Renault, who's a little long in the tooth in her career. She started off late, too, like 36, I think. Outside that, Louis Smolka's fighting. But you get to the main card, opening up with fucking Tim Boetsch fighting Amari Akhmedov. Ever since that Yushin Okami fight, I think it was Yushin Okami, where Boetsch was getting his ass beat. And then that motherfucker just channels that, I don't know, something I will never have, and finishes that motherfucker with repeated uppercuts.
I would say,
but that was a long time ago, man.
About 3 years ago. I mean, but I think
they had sponsors on their shit.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Boetsch is Tim Boetsch. If the dude connects on something, he'll win. But I mean, but
I like Tim Boetsch like I like fucking Chuck Liddell.
I mean, the smart way to fight that guy, get him on his back, make him waste a lot of energy getting up, and then get him on his back again. I mean, and just repeat.
I'm not very familiar with Amari Akhmedov, but that's a good opener for a fight in Kansas. I think you're getting name star power as well. Tim Boetsch, people will fucking watch Tim Boetsch fight because he has a lot of fans because he is one of the vets.
See, I'll talk shit about this card, but if it was in Lubbock, you can bet your fucking ass I would be there. So,
oh fuck yeah, oh yeah, we'd be go. Fucking popping in on old Ricky Bobby Wheeler. Ricky Bobby Wheeler.
Something like that.
Beneil Dariush fighting Drew Dober at 155 lightweight.
Dariush is kind of unstoppable at times until he gets stopped. But I mean, but literally, he might be the smartest fighter I know in that weight class, that division.
I like Beneil, man.
The guy he's got a really smart approach. He throws the appropriate hands and he sets up takedowns in a fucking perfect way. He does have his occasional loss here and there, but it's but it's few and far between.
But he always looks a little bit better after a loss
every time,
and that's really what's important.
Yeah.
I got Dariush in that. Probably not by a finish, I think, because Drew Dober ain't nothing to fucking sneeze at.
No. But I think Dariush goes a distance and gets a decision on that.
Yeah. Blagoy Ivanov is fighting a return 3 fucking years. Ben Rothwell. You remember Ben Rothwell, don't you?
Got retired 3 years ago?
No, he didn't retire. He injured himself and then got popped.
Oh, yeah.
So he hadn't fought in almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And that dude was like, remember that fucking, like he was a big fan of that fucking smother choke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was really starting to get some goddamn traction going, especially when he did that weird laugh after his post-fight.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And then he fucking got his ass beat by, I can't recall. Then injury, got popped by USADA. Now he's back after nearly 3 years. I don't like his chances. I see him going to Bellator.
Don't care.
I really do.
Don't care.
Tim Means, Nico Price fighting welterweight.
I'll pull for Tim Means only because he's from fucking Albuquerque, I guess.
Well, that's not real. Well, shit. Now you got to pull for Diego.
Okay. Well, let me straighten that out. Yeah, Tim Means, who actually really kind of disregards the entire camps that are there in fucking Albuquerque.
Sure. Yeah, he doesn't train.
He's not Jackson Wink guy, so
Is he a BMFer?
No, he's fucking he's a Gracie dude.
God damn. I didn't realize the Gracies had any presence in Albuquerque.
Yeah, they got Aldo Gracie fucking gym.
Oh, shit. Right on. I had no idea.
I think that's where he's at. I don't think he's Jackson Wink anymore. It doesn't matter. But I'll go Tim Means only because the guy is one of the few fucking actually is like kind of almost a superhero in his neighborhood. He chased down that one dude that's trying to steal a car one time.
Man. Yeah. This guy is like neighborhood watch for real.
This dude's a fucking superhero. So I'll go Tim Means.
Curtis Millender fighting Elizu Zaleski dos Santos.
We saw Millender fight in fucking Austin.
Yeah.
I'm on that guy's gravy train until he fucking really loses. And even then, I'm still on it if he doesn't fucking kind of learn. But this dude right now, Curtis Millender is, and they'll call him Millender, by the way, and they're wrong. They're wrong.
And that'll be John Anik doing that.
Yeah. Curtis Millender is actually a really, really active, really long, really tall guy. Likes to throw a lot of bows, throw a lot of jabs. It sounds like another guy I know, but.
Right. Someone we watched last week.
Yeah.
The Brazilian, though, he's not in the season yet either. I really think this is probably your greatest matchup, as far as styles go tonight. Your co-main event is your main event, really.
Yeah.
But which I'm going to go Milner as well. But I think that's going to be the most entertaining fight of the
I think
night.
if Miller gets put on his back, I think that guy's fucked.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what his camp, teaches him. But
And your main event, another guy that fought in Austin against Marcin. What the fuck was that weird guy's name?
Tiberian.
Marcin Tiberian.
Right?
Marcin Tiberius Kirk.
I think it is.
Marcin
right?
Tibura.
Tibura. Yeah. All right.
Derek Lewis. Derek, my balls was hot. Lewis fighting Junior Dos Santos. One guy has to cut weight, the other doesn't. I'm going to let you guess who it is.
Man, I really think if his back is in good shape, because that's always the question. Always.
Well, he looked good in the Cormier title fight, but he looked good against a guy that is a fucking elite wrestler and will wear you down and beat the shit out of you.
If Derek Lewis doesn't have an injury heading into this fight, I like him all day long.
I think this is the biggest gap he's had between fights in a long time.
In a while.
So maybe the rest did him well. He said his back was great going into the Cormier fight.
He said his balls was hot.
He said his balls was hot, yeah. But he is fighting a guy whose chin is certainly cracked. Maybe not crushed, but cracked.
I think JDS is he's a guy who has a consummate skill set. Not enough to push for a title shot anytime now. He's past that. Time has passed him by.
Unless he beats Derek Lewis.
I don't think so.
You don't think he's,
No.
I mean, I think Junior has done one of the few things that not a lot of fighters do when they've been cracked. He has become more evasive. Tried to be more evasive. He doesn't go.
Yeah, no,
all
he
in.
doesn't go stand
Yeah.
heel to heel.
And at the end of the day,
yeah.
we are in a division where one punch changes everything.
Yep.
But overall, I mean, and this is a 5-round fight. Derek Lewis is no stranger to 5-round fights.
He always looks like he's done by the second, third round, but that motherfucker's got power.
And then you get a finish, and you get a third-round heavyweight finish. I see this thing being really boring until about the end of the fourth, start of the fifth.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's right. That's
where
fair.
Juniors thinks, oh, man, this guy's fucking tired, and there's going to be one more surge of power. Derek Lewis, 5th-round finish is my call.
Good man.
Now let us get to our
picks?
Sweet-ass picks.
Other picks besides that one?
That's right. What are you drinking, my friend?
Going this
glass is empty. Goddamn, I was lied to.
Yeah, that's not a good way to go.
I'll fix that later.
I just saw you take a shot without taking a shot. It's a ghost shot.
Or is it like a dribble?
Probably a little bit of the Michter's. I think we got to finish this bottle. I don't care if it makes you angry.
I believe we're going to start with the Michter and then put a little Dickel in us.
A little Dickel. A little Michter to Dickel.
A little Michter to Dickel ratio, eh? What are you jamming?
Jamming, I think, this week. Check out King's Destroy.
Oh, fuck yeah. We didn't get to talk about that, man. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Because that was my favorite release until I heard Black Lung.
This is the best release of the week, in my opinion. Check it out. King's Destroy, but Phantasma Nera is the name of the album.
Yeah,
dropped today. And
King's Destroy.
It's excellent, man. It's excellent.
Check out King's Destroy. Check out Black Lung. Even check out the new tier. I mean,
don't check out Children of Boredom though. It's terrible.
No, goddamn, that started out like a fucking Tim Burton
started
movie.
out like a fucking finger right in your butt.
Oh goddamn!
You're like going in for a flu shot.
5 picks. What do you think we're going to see tomorrow that we wouldn't normally see?
Curtis Millender's actually going to show some ground game and fucking get a rear naked choke.
Wow, I think Derek Lewis is going to go omoplata on the JDS.
No, fuck up, really?
Yep. I was going to say Twister. What we close it out with?
It's King's Destroy.
Oh, fuck,
nice. Yeah, check these guys out, man. It's the best shutout this week. It's the best. It's the best, Jerry. It's the best.
Knock, knock.
It's like Mindy's. Who's there?
Let's go get drunk.
Until next week.